Hi Sparklers, thank you for stopping by. This is episode 3 of the maiden edition of Leadership Series with Oyinlola Adedipe. If you missed episode 1 and 2, please check the description box. Now let's dive right into this video.
Okay, so Oyinlola, I have a question for you. Well, more like an interview question. So, so the question is, can you share a memorable moment in your career that significantly influenced your approach to leadership or decision making?
Yes, I can. I've had a few,
Hmm.
but I think what leadership, this first where I'll start. Leadership is not just, going before people and being an example to people. It's also being an example to yourself,
Hmm.
right? So leadership is leading people, leading yourself.
Hmm.
So I'm going to answer that question from that perspective, those two areas. In terms of leading myself, right? So I remember this was in KPMG. I got feedback that I didn't like. And personally, I was like, I'm doing this work and I think I'm doing it right. And I was going to, what's the word now? When you are not argue, I was going to challenge the feedback.
Hmm.
And then I went to meet a partner, shout out to Victor Inkwa, who was like my mentor at the time. I mentioned about how I always seek out mentors. So I had developed sort of a professional but personal relationship with him and better from a mentor perspective.
Hmm.
And he said something. He said, if you think you have done work well, right, and the person is not seeing it, then that says something about how you have done the work. So every feedback is good feedback.
Hmm.
The feedback is good, that is what you expect, great. If it's not what you expect, it means that that thing you think you're not doing it well enough for people to acknowledge it and then give you feedback
Hmm.
on that. And what that did was that just made me lead myself thoroughly. So it made me put a lot more work into showing up well, and beyond showing up, making sure people saw that I showed up.
Hmm.
It puts context to the way I live my life and lead my career. I tell people that I anywhere I go, I build a reputation and I strive to maintain it.
Hmm.
I tell people don't work with laxity. Don't work with, oh, just work a coming there. Let be known for something at work
Hmm.
and then do what you can to keep that reputation on.
Hmm.
Case in point, I would say that I'm someone that's known for being reliable, hardworking, consistent to a large extent. And every day, I carry out daily actions to ensure that I maintain that reputation.
Hmm.
One of those is responding to my emails on time. And it doesn't do me any harm or the person any harm to keep the email till the next hour or 24 hours. But it's just, what's that brand that I have created?
Hmm.
What's that brand I want to maintain? And how do I continue to push that brand and lead myself and others as a result of my actions?
Hmm.
So I will send you a response. If I don't have your answer, I will send you an acknowledgement of my receipts of your email. So you feel heard, you feel seen. And it's another thing that I do in terms of leading. So how's that? If you see, the last part of your question was, how has that
Influence your decision
yeah,
making.
decision making. I've said that, like
Yeah.
daily decisions,
Yeah.
daily actions. And then what that does is also the impact on people when I come to the part of leading people.
Hmm.
When people start to see these things, you start to be an example.
Hmm.
And then people say, oh, I want to do things this particular way. And the way they think these things work is, as long as it's good work,
Hmm.
it brings along with it good tidings, good report, good moves, and all of that.
Hmm.
And people start to follow. So consciously or unconsciously, you're leading, you're driving good habits, you're driving stellar behaviors in
Yeah.
people just by doing your own thing
Hmm.
and doing that, taking that daily step, that decision, those actions that help you fulfill that goal that you have set for yourself. So I think that was very instrumental in how I look, my outlook to life, my career, and just generally my day to day as well. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
That was really interesting. And you said something that stood out for me, and which also touched back to the point of personal branding. Building a personal brand outside of social media,
Yeah.
right? Because you're conscious, you're the reason why you would tell yourself, oh, you know, that I need to respond to people's email, at least acknowledge receipt of their email, is because I have a brand to protect.
Yeah.
I've built a brand
Yeah.
and I want to be
Exactly.
consistent.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
that's totally out of social media,
Oh yeah.
right? But you mentioned something around feedback
Yeah.
where you said a boss mentioned that every feedback is good feedback.
Yes.
But I also know that people say things like there's constructive feedback and destructive feedback,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or there's another word they use for that destructive feedback, but more like people can give you feedback because they're trying to project their insecurities on
Mm-hmm.
you,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you manage that feedback in such a way that you don't feel like you don't think it's on you,
Yeah.
rather it's on the person, right?
Yeah.
So for instance, somebody projects their trauma or their insecurity on me. Where do I draw the line to the point where I don't feel beat myself up and tell myself that Christy, you're at fault? Meanwhile, the person, is the one who is projecting their flaws or their insecurity or past experiences on
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I hear you. So I think what I know that there are certain situations where people give you very subjective feedback,
Hmm.
right? That's not based completely on the work that you're doing, but on their own feelings, probably in that time or experiences they have had. What I would say in that moment is you need to do some distilling of the feedback you're getting.
Hmm.
When I say distilling is fish out the one that is relevant to the work that you're doing.
Hmm.
And you have receipts of the work that you've done. You know
Yeah.
for yourself what you put in, what you've done, yeah? And then sift it. You have to do that thing of distilling what's for me, what's not.
Hmm.
And please trash the part of that feedback that you know is completely subjective based on of their own um experiences, issues they may be going through, and you can sense it. Those
Hmm.
ones will come across very personal, many times not linked to the work that you're doing,
Hmm.
many times without any grounding,
Hmm.
many times very, very up in the air,
Yeah.
right? They're not saying anything in particular, they're just talking with
Hmm.
a lot of fluff,
Hmm.
so you can easily tell when that feedback is not your feedback.
Hmm.
So I think you step back.
Yeah.
At any point you get feedback, step back, distill the feedback.
Hmm.
Distilling involves saying, what's the work that I could have done that could
Hmm.
have let them see my work as they should have.
Hmm.
This thing also entails what part of this feedback is truly feedback for me,
Hmm.
and what part of this feedback is just somebody projecting their insecurities
Insecurities.
on me. Yeah.
That's profound.
Yeah.
That's really profound. And I mean, in essence or in summary, what you're saying is tell yourself the truth.
Oh yeah.
Right? You
Yeah.
know when
Yeah.
someone is giving you feedback and when
Yeah.
that feedback is good feedback. Even the ones that you supposedly think is destructive feedback, you know when it's actually a good feedback and
Yeah.
you're lying to yourself
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
telling yourself that, oh, this
Yeah.
person is just protecting their
Yeah.
insecurities
Yeah.
on me. So tell yourself the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Be true to yourself. I
Yeah.
think that's what I think from what
Very
you said.
important. Yes.
Be
Very
true to
important.
yourself.
That's it. I'll leave you with a line that one of my former bosses said. He says, everybody else can be fed your bowl,
Hmm.
but do not feed yourself your bowl.
Hmm.
Know yourself for yourself, and where you truly know that you need help,
Hmm.
seek out that help. Because many times we're all caught up in that facade of who we are, what people think that we are, the star that we are. It happens with a lot of stars, people who shine at work,
Yeah.
shining where they are, whatever it is that they're doing. You find that they're very taking over with this shine,
Hmm.
and there are certain parts of themselves that need work,
Hmm.
but they unconsciously or consciously lie to themselves. So do not feed yourself your own bowl.
Hmm.
Find out where you need help and deal with it. And
Hmm.
that's when all that shine and everything is no longer fluff. But
Yeah.
then there's a lot of depth to it, and it's real, real shine in and out.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, this is not some aspire to perspire to, right? This is real talk.
It's real talk. It's real talk. It's real life talk. Yes.
So,
Yeah.
and really, I mean, it's truly amazing. I was going to ask you for your last words to us, but you've said it
Oh yes,
all,
yes.
right? You've said it all. I think I would just say that if you want to see more of Oyinlola, like you feel like you really enjoyed this video as much as I did, and you want to, more like be a mentee. I mean, this is fine woman now, fine brain, dental, intelligent, everything, right? And you want to be a mentee, or you want to be in a space, more like an opportunity to be close to her, or to be able to come to her and say, oh, before she becomes, inaccessible, before you have to go through like 3 or 4 people before you can access her, I would advise that or suggest that you join OYCA Academy,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
it's a coaching academy, which I'm a part of, and that's why I'm really honored and happy to bring that to my channel today. I would suggest that be a part of OYCA. Check out OYCA on Instagram, on LinkedIn. Fill the registration form, and if you pass, because I mean you have to go through some process before you can be admitted into academy, right? So you would have the opportunity to get to talk to her or be a mentee. You have her as a coach because she's really amazing, and really there's so much more. She recently got an appointment at a place of work, and it's big, it's huge, and I have no doubt that there's so much more coming. So before
Man,
you get to the point where you say, oh, I have the opportunity to be close to this lady, but I didn't get it, my dear, grab this opportunity now. And if you're not subscribed to this channel,
please subscribe.
this is just a tip of the iceberg. There's so much more to come. Like I promised you, I'll be bringing on board, leaders from different industries and countries, and to come and share with us, how they've been able to build their personal brand, how they are growing their business, how they are developing their
That career.
career, and growing their personal finance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very happy to have had this amazing woman in this Women's Month.
Thank
Happy
you for
International Women's
having
Day to
me.
all of
Thank
you.
you for having me.
I'm really glad
Thank
to have
you.
had a woman, take up the maiden edition of this leadership series. So if you've not subscribed to this channel, what are
Please
you waiting for?
subscribe.
What are you waiting for? Tell me, what more do you want from me that I'm not giving to you? Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, like this video, share. Hmm. Help somebody, tell a friend to tell a friend, come and watch this video, right?
Yeah.
And I'll be sure to see you in the next edition of our leadership series. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you.
Bye bye. 17-year-old signing out.